All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Global Scholarships, and I'm your host, Az. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great. And today we are here with another weekly live stream on Friday. If you're new here, we do a live stream on Friday, both on YouTube and Facebook, and we do live streams on TikTok on every Thursday now. And I'm here joined by Eamon. Hi, Eamon. How are you? How are things going?
Hi, Alice. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm also doing fine. It has been quite hot here in here for like last couple of last week, but it's now much better actually. So thank you very much. Anyway, guys, so during the live stream, like we're gonna go over a couple of scholarship opportunities that we've picked for today. But at any point, if you have any question, they could be about like a specific scholarship that you're interested in, about a specific school that you're interested in. A lot of our viewers come and ask questions about their own situation, like I'm from this country, I want to study this subject in this country, and like here are my GPAs and other scores. Like what opportunities do I have, and we can like give them more like better advice, because like if they give us more details. So at any point, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Other than that, we're going to go over a couple of scholarships today, and we're going to see them. So let's start with our first scholarship. But again, if you have any questions, just ask them. Don't wait for me to finish what I'm talking about. All right. So the first scholarship of the day is International Financial Aid at Cornell University. Let me just share the link so you can tag along if you want and follow us. Now, this is for bachelors. It's in Cornell University. As you can see, it's full funding. There are no specific nationalities, no specific subjects for this one. And as you can see, admission and scholarship deadline is far away in the future. But you need to apply for this. You have to have a separate application for this. And what it covers as a scholarship, it covers your full demonstrated financial needs. What does that mean? We're going to see about that. But first, a little bit more about the school. Well, Cornell University is a very well-known school in the United States, in New York, not New York City, but New York State. It has 25,000 students, two other scholarship opportunities as well. It's a very good school. It's an Ivy League school. It's like one of the best schools in the United States. And as you can see in this page, we also have the application tutorial. So if you want to study in this school, you can just follow this tutorial from our YouTube channel, and which will take you from like literally from zero, like from Google, right? Google search to the point where you have to pay your application fee. So like it's a very comprehensive tutorial. Anyway, as you can see, we have deadlines here, and then yeah, as you can see, we have the tuition fees, which are very high, like 60,000 US dollars. Like even for United States, it's quite high. But like if you cannot afford this, again, this scholarship covers your tuition fees, and like it covers pretty much everything, all your demonstrated financial needs. So anyway, if you want to see the school, again, it's in, let's see, it's in New York State. As you can see, not in New York City, which is here, and the school is here in the same state. It's around, I believe, like an hour drive. So it's an old school. It's a very good, high-ranking school. Like there are a lot of, if I remember, there are a lot of like Nobel Prize winners among its alumni. Like a lot of people know about the school anyway. So yeah, this is the school basically, and the scholarship, as you can see, it's a financial aid. There are no specific eligibility criteria for this one. You just need to be an international bachelor student here. Anyway, so if you want to get more information, you can just click here and go to the university's page. As you can see, they have a page for like financial aid, about like how to apply, etc. As you can see, this is like the Cornell's undergraduate admission process is need aware. So like if you need financial aid, right, from the school, they like consider that with any like many other factors to decide whether they want to admit you to the school. And as you can see, it covers 100% of your financial needs. So what you do is basically you go and like you create a CSS profile, and like in that CSS profile you give a lot of information about your like financial situation, your parents' financial situation. You submit your documents that show your financial situation, like how much your family can afford, and then they give you a preview aid estimates, and then like you get reviewed and offer. Like basically they use the documents you upload to kind of figure out how much can your family aid you, like how much your family can contribute to your education, and then how much the university would need to cover, and then they give you an offer based on that. So that's pretty much it. Basically, if you're a really good student but you need financial aid, I mean, Cornell, it's already a very competitive school anyway. But if you need financial aid, they're also like you need to have like very good grades and like GPA and scores as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It covers your entire demonstrated financial needs. Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one?
Yeah, so Cornell is a very well-known university in the
Mhm.
United States. Like, even if you're not someone who is aware of universities in general, there are a lot of pop culture references to this university for some reason.
Mhm.
I see a lot of TV shows where it's mentioned, like The Simpsons, The Office. I think
Yeah.
even recent shows like Queen of the South, like there's always a mention of Cornell somewhere, and people want to go there or people went there. So it's a pretty well-known university. And I think if you just watch American TV in general, you will hear it somewhere. You will hear it mentioned somewhere. Yeah, so other than that, it's one of the few universities that are need aware for international students. So not only is it need aware, but it also covers 100% of demonstrated need. Um, there are a lot of universities that are need aware, but most of the time they're not need aware for international students. So they're just need aware for domestic students. And this is one of the very few universities that is need aware for international students. So there are like four need blind, and there's like a small list of universities that are need aware, and I think students should be aware of these universities
Mhm.
if they don't have the funds for studying abroad. So they should look for the list of need-aware universities and then try to apply to those. They also sometimes offer an application waiver. So if you don't even have enough money to apply, they are ready to waive the fee of application if you request it. And sometimes the application is just free. So that's a good starting point for students who are just looking for scholarships, but you definitely need to have very, very high grades. That's the first thing they filter students according to, basically. So the first thing they look at is your GPA, and if there's a standardized exam that you need to take, they will look at that as well. So that's a preliminary way to sort the applications, and then they're gonna look at your extracurriculars later. Yeah, so if you're looking for a university to study abroad, you don't have funds, just try to look for need-aware universities for international students, not just need-aware.
Right, thank you very much, Ayman, for that. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. This was the first scholarship of the day. And again, if you have any questions about anything at any point, just feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to our next scholarship, which is, oh, hang on. William Volkhausen Memorial Scholarship at New York City College of Technology. It's in the United States. I'll just share the link and chat too. Right, okay, good. Now this is for bachelor students. It's again full funding. There are no specific nationalities or subjects. It's in New York City College of Technology. And as you can see, the deadline is September 15. What it covers, it covers a full tuition. It covers full tuitions and like an additional financial support, right? The school is not a very large school. It has about 17,000 students, but as you can see, it has 12 different scholarships. Like that's quite a lot of scholarships. And if you want to learn about all of them, you can just use that. You can just click on the university from the link I shared, and just go like scroll down, and all of them are here. And if you see anyone that you're interested in, like this one, for example, or this one, you can just like presidential scholarship. You can just click on this one, scholarship page, and it will take you to our page for that scholarship. Okay, so as you can see, this is the school. We have like the admission process here, the deadline here. Tuition fees are more affordable compared to Cornell, for example. It's about like $20,000 for bachelors. But one thing that will be quite important, I believe, here is the location of the university, because like Ayman, you said, like Cornell gets quite a lot of references in popular culture in the United States, and like New York City College of Technology is like, it's right in the middle of New York City. So like it's quite close to Manhattan. Like as you can see, like I guess like 5 minutes walk. And like it's one of the most, how would you say, like highly packed urban places in the world. So like it's extremely expensive, like from the rent, accommodation, like transportation, everything is quite expensive. But also like you are living, basically you are studying in kind of like in Manhattan, which is again like one of the most well referenced places in the world. Like if you watched any TV show, probably from United States, you've heard these places. For example, maybe if you watched Friends, here's Central Park, and like a lot of other TV shows too. Anyway, so yeah, this is like, it's very central, but it's also extremely expensive. Actually, let me see. How much is? Yeah, I guess this is it. How much it costs to live here? About $1,600, which is like twice you would need to have in some other places, maybe like in United States, like places like, I don't know, maybe Houston, maybe San Antonio. Yeah, it's quite expensive. Keep that in mind. Anyway, this is the school. What I'm trying to say is that tuition fees are not that high, but living costs would be incredibly expensive. So yeah, this is the school basically. Anyway, the scholarship, if you want to learn more about the scholarship, we have one specific eligibility criteria. You need to have a minimum GPA of 3.2. That's pretty much it. Like if you want to learn more, you can just click here, but we don't get a lot of information about this scholarship. As you can see here, like the school has a lot of scholarships and grants, and this is the one we are talking about, William Bolkhausen Memorial Scholarship, and this is pretty much it. Provide full tuition scholarship and other financial support to recipients. A GPA of 3.2 or higher is required. Other than that, there is not that much information about the scholarship. I am fairly certain, even though I don't know, like, let's say I'm fairly confident, even though I don't know for certain, that this, this financial support wouldn't probably be enough to live in the middle of Manhattan. So you need to keep that in mind. You will need to cover your living expenses, which can be quite high. Anyway, so this is the scholarship. Again, it covers your tuition fees, which are not that low either, and then you get additional financial support. Anyway, Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one?
I don't think there's much to add about this particular scholarship. So the eligibility criteria are quite reasonable. A GPA 3.2 is not that high. But I would always assume that even though it's not stated, that there are probably very, very few scholarships that they're ready to give away. So even though the required GPA is low, but I think at the end of the day that they're gonna see the top applicants and then filter through. So maybe 3.2 is the minimum required GPA, but I don't think that the recipient would be one that has a GPA of 3.2, probably like one that has a GPA of 4, because they tend to be competitive. And if there's a strong pool of applicants, 3.2 won't cut it. It will just give you a chance to apply, but nothing more. So that's something I think that is worth mentioning. Sometimes students have the minimum required GPA to apply for a certain scholarship, and they think they would get it, but the reality is not always that. It always depends on how good the other applicants are and where you fall within the pool. So yeah, other than that, I think it's just a straightforward scholarship.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. All right, guys. This was pretty much it for the scholarship, and I don't see any questions on either YouTube or Facebook. All right, so let's move on to our third scholarship of the day. Okay, which is, hang on. It's free tuition at University of Potsdam. It's in Germany. It's for bachelor's, master's, and PhD students. It's full tuition. Basically, you don't pay any tuition fees. Like, there are a lot of universities in Germany that like offers a really high quality education, but then you don't have to pay any tuition fees for them. So as you can see, no specific nationalities, no specific subjects. Admission deadline for bachelor's is July 15th and master's August 15th. So you still have time. You don't have to apply specifically for this. Like, if you apply to the university, you're automatically considered. You just don't pay tuition fees. Anyway, so, but one important note is that the university does not charge tuition fees, but requires students to pay a semester fee. It can cost as much as 316 euros and includes the following charges: student services fees, student body fees, enrollment and registration fees, and basically you pay around like 300 euros, okay, every semester. So there's no other tuition fee. There are no specific eligibility criteria. And now the university, it's a good university in Germany. It has about 20,000 students. There are not that many other scholarships as well. as you can see, we have like the admission process here, we have deadlines here, and as you can see, no tuition fees. So let's see the university actually, right? It's in Potsdam in Germany. This one, right? Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is the university. Basically, if you want to study in Germany, a lot of schools in Germany offer really good education. One thing to keep in mind that like you don't pay tuition fees, you pay a very affordable semester fee. Oh, let me just share the link before I forget. But one thing about Germany is that Germany is can be quite more expensive compared to other countries. So you need to get have a plan for your cost of living, which we'll see actually in a second, right? Anyway, this is the university. Now, there aren't that many things to say about this scholarship. It's just basically you don't pay tuition fees, but the university has, I kind of find that a lot of German universities has like their pages about free tuition. Like normally there shouldn't be that much of an information, but they also give you quite a lot of information about like how much it costs to study. As you can see, we don't charge any tuition fees, but then they give you information about average cost of living, and a lot of universities also give you information about like other possible ways of financing your education. For example, we have average monthly expenditures. As you can see here, like rent and food, clothing, and etc. It's like kind of adds up to 930 euros. It's per month, by the way. And like there's even more information about like possible additional expenses. And so overall, it says it can vary between 600 and 1100 euros. So like you would just need to pay this every month for your own expenses, and you would also pay every semester a fee of about 300 euros. And then if you go to the university's page, they also, as you can see, they also give you more information about financing and working, like German financial aid. You can look into these scholarships, housing allowance, social services, student loans, part-time jobs. Like German universities really do give you a lot of information about like not just the scholarship, but also like other opportunities to finance your education. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. This is the free tuition at University of Potsdam. Eamon, do you want to add anything about this one?
Yeah, so for most public universities in Germany, the education is free. So whether you're a domestic or an international student, you just have to pay your semester contribution, and that's the extent of it. There are no tuition fees. One misconception that I would probably want to clear out, because I met with an admission officer from a German university, and they told me that you don't really have to study in German for you to be able to study for free. You can study in English as well, provided that the university offers English taught courses. So I think students should be aware of that. There's this big misconception about Germany that if you want to study in Germany, you have to study in German, and people are scared that they can't learn the language. They find it a little bit hard, complicated. So the option to study in English is there. Just try to look for universities that offer English taught courses, and you're good to go. So free education is not only for German taught courses, which is not the case for some universities. For example, in Eastern Europe, or maybe in Asia as well. For those, sometimes the courses that are taught in the language of the country are free, but if you apply for the English taught courses, you actually have to pay for tuition fees. That does not apply to Germany. And
Yeah.
I think this is just the one thing I would like to point out.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very good point. I can see a lot of people how a lot of people could think, yeah, I don't know German, I cannot study in Germany, so I wouldn't, like, I shouldn't even try to. Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, so that's it for this scholarship as well. This was free tuition at University of Potsdam. There are other schools in Germany as well that offer free education. They usually have like a semester fee, which is about like a couple of €100. So yeah. Okay, I don't see any questions right now. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to our next and the last scholarship of the day, which is graduate assistantships at University of North Dakota, United States. It's for master's and PhD students. It's full tuition. There are no specific nationalities or subjects. And as you can see, the admission deadline is September the 1st. Let me just share the link for you. Right? Okay. So now, what does this cover basically is, like, we've seen a lot of graduate assistantships. Pretty much every week we see another one. And I usually try, like, there are a lot of these in the United States, but I usually try to pick the best ones, the ones that look best. So it covers up to 100% of tuition fees and a stipend of approximately $16,000 for masters and $20,000 for PhD teaching assistants, so, which varies by the department. Anyway, so we have some eligibility criteria, but we're going to see that in a minute. So the University of North Dakota, as you can see, it's in North Dakota. It's not a very large school, 13,000 students. There are some other scholarships as well. You can just click any one of these and go to that part of the page. For example, let's see the scholarships. We have some partial scholarships here. And yeah, on non-partial scholarship is the graduate assistantship. Other ones are just partial ones. Anyway, so we have information about the admission process. We have deadlines here. We have tuition fees. Tuition fees are not extremely high, but still, like, for masters, $30,000 is not that affordable, so it's still quite high. And this scholarship covers up to 100% of that. So the scholarship basically is a job, like it's an employment kind of thing. You work for a certain amount of time every week in the university, as you can see, both student and employee. So like, we have here information about like the jobs, the benefits. So as you can see, workers' compensation, which is like, it's not a stipend, actually, it's not just a stipend, but it's actually kind of a compensation for work you're doing. And then we have eligibility requirements here. Granted admission to the School of Graduate Studies, so you need to be a master's or a PhD student in this school. You need to have a speaking subtest score of 26 out of 30 on the TOEFL for graduate teaching assistants, like, which is kind of sensible, since if you're going to be a teaching assistant, you need to have a very good speaking level. And then, as you can see, you need to maintain the credit and maintain a 3.0 GPA. And as you can see, this is, like, as I said, this is kind of an employment, because you need to maintain satisfactory job performance, or it can be subject to removal or termination. And we have information about the language requirements. And then we have, like, as you can see, other types of GA positions: teaching, research, and service. And we have appointment hours. As you can see, you cannot work for more than 20 hours. But, like, the thing is, they have both half time and quarter time. And so, like, if you're half-time, you cannot work more than 20 hours. If you're quarter-time, you cannot work for more than 10 hours. And your compensation will be based on that, basically. Like, so yeah, like if you're a quarter-time assistant, you will probably be making less than this amount here, right? So the university, wouldn't say the university. Hang on, let me just show you the university. It's in It's in North Dakota. Basically, it's like in the middle of the United States, so it's not high either. It's not very expensive as a place, and as you can see, this is the university. Actually, let's see if we have. No, we don't have any information about cost of living in North Dakota. So anyway, this is the university. It's like I would I would believe it would be less than like $1,000 a month living costs. So the graduate assistantship covers that, but I'm gonna say one thing that Ayman usually emphasize about graduate assistantships. To be able to get this graduate assistantships, I believe there are very good opportunities. Hi, I am planning for study abroad, bachelor's in computer science. If you can give us a little bit more detail, we may be able to help you better. So I'm gonna wait for you to finish, and then we can maybe help you. So yeah, the thing is, like, even these are very good opportunities, you cannot just depend on them, because to be able to get these scholarships, you need to be there. Like, you need to be admitted to the school, you need to go there, start your education, and then apply for this graduate assistantships, and then you can get. So before getting the graduate assistantship, you should already have like a plan to finance your education by yourself. And then if you get the graduate assistantship, then you can use that to cover your like financial needs, and maybe you can use your savings to, I don't know, travel around the United States. Can you help me? What is the process? So one viewer says, I'm planning for study abroad, bachelor's in computer science in USA. I am from India. Can you help me? What's the process? Now, one thing I really advise you to do is to go to our website, globalscholarships.com, right? And you want to study computer science in the United States, right? Let's type United States. So this will give you, our search tool will give you all the available scholarships, right? Bachelor's in computer science. So for subjects, let's choose computer science, and let's say for bachelor's. Okay, and if you want to apply right now, you would be interested in ones that are currently open. And as you can see, we have around 136 scholarships, and if you want, you can even filter it further, like full tuition or full funding. Let's see if we have some full funding. We have just 3 full funding scholarships, right? One of them is the one we actually just saw, William Bolkason Memorial Scholarship. And if you want just full tuition scholarship, you have these ones around like 7. And if you want just partial, anyway, there are a lot of different types. Requirements, I would say, kind of depend on the university and scholarship you are going for, but I believe Ayman can give us more insight on that. Ayman, what do you want to say about this one?
Okay, so all right. So as far as the process is concerned, it's quite the long process, and you have to start getting ready from now. Well, you need to, if you're saying that your GPA is low, I would recommend then preparing for standardized exams like SAT, ACT. Other, like, sometimes students with low GPAs request that the university considers the score of the SAT or ACT instead. I think that's one step. You need to sit for the IELTS or TOEFL exam as well. So you need an English language proficiency score before you apply. Some universities accept Duolingo. You can look into that as well because it's cheaper, more accessible, um, and you don't need to sit for it in person. So these are two important steps. Then you need your essay. Some universities require an essay when you apply, so you need to tell them why they should choose you uh, instead of the thousands of applicants they get. So you need to work on your application essay. You need to get recommendation letters from your teachers, or tutors, or like someone with credibility and who knows your academic achievements. You need a good list of extracurricular activities that you've been part of. Um, you can apply directly to universities. So basically, they all have an admission page on their website. They will have an early action, early decision, or regular decision application date. So dependent on when you want to apply to them, and dependent on your priority as far as your first choice is concerned when it comes to these universities. Um, as far as scholarships, I would really advise you to, I mean, dependent on your expected family contribution. So if you have some funds, yeah, well, then you have to apply through that. If it redirects you to College Board, then you'll have to use it. Um, so if you have some funds and if your family is ready to pay for your education, you'll need to provide your expected family contribution to the university, and then they'll calculate your cost of attendance, and then they'll probably give you scholarships if your if your expected family contribution is basically zero, they would consider giving you scholarships. Um, so some universities have minimum required expected family contributions that you need to meet before you apply to them. Some others have very low EFCs. Um, and I was talking about this earlier. So if you don't have any funds, you may consider looking for need-aware universities and colleges in the United States for international students. And with those, you have the most chances of getting a scholarship that covers 100% of your demonstrated need. I think these are the important steps here. Um, just apply to as many universities as you can. Some of them will probably accept you, but you you would actually need to pay because they will give you the cost of attendance, and then you need to pay a certain amount to be admitted. Yeah, so I think I covered most of the steps that you're supposed to follow in order to be, or in order to just apply to universities in the United States. Of course, you need to make sure that whatever university you're applying to offers a computer science degree. That goes without saying.
Okay, thank you very much, Eamon. And so Yeah, basically, so this back to our scholarship. This was pretty much it. Eamon, also, do you, if you have anything to add about this scholarship, like it's kind of a graduate assistantships. We've talked about a lot of graduate assistantships in a prior
Hmm.
previous live streams. So do you want to add anything about this one?
I think the one thing that is noteworthy is that they have a specific requirement for the speaking portion of
Hmm.
the TOEFL.
Yeah.
Basically, that is a requirement because this is most likely a teaching graduate assistantship, which means
Yeah.
that the student needs to have a certain level of proficiency in speaking in order to teach, and that's why it's an imposed requirement. Basically, it's mandatory to have a specific score for that. I have seen universities that actually uh let you retake the test, but it's there, so you would sit for another test where they actually can assess your level of proficiency because some students maybe over time
Mhm.
they get more proficient and their initial score doesn't reflect their real level, so they retake the test, and sometimes it's more than just the language test. Sometimes it's additional testing for other things. But I don't think so. If a student, I don't know, stumbles upon this and thinks that their score is low, but it doesn't reflect their real level, they can just request a retake or a reset. But
Mhm.
it's not really for the TOEFL exam, but it's just a language proficiency test where they get tested, and if they pass, they can uh, basically be accepted to be a teaching assistant.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right then, guys. This was the graduate assistantship at University of North Dakota. So this was the last scholarship of the day. All right. So if you have any other questions, ask them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Otherwise, we're gonna end the live stream here. I'll just give you like a minute to type in any questions that you might have. So other than that, this is our live stream. We do this every Friday on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you're new here, just like you can follow us. We are on YouTube. We are on TikTok. We do TikTok live streams on Thursdays too. In our YouTube channel, we do a lot of informative stuff about like currently open scholarships or about like other more specific subjects, like for example how to, like what opportunities do you have, for example, to study in Austria, to make it as affordable as you can, or maybe even like free, like can you study for free in Austria, or what are some of the best medical schools in a country, in a specific country, that type of stuff. We do a lot of those. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see any new questions, so I'm gonna end the live stream here. Again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching our live stream. If you're watching this on VOD after the live stream, again, thank you very much for watching us. We'll be here next Friday. Eamon, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, as always, thank you for having me.
Okay, great. So, all right then, everyone, we're gonna end the live stream here. Have a nice day and see you next week. Bye.